So there was this plug in the hood. He was a priest or something, ran a church. He would get, he found out how to get donations from companies of surplus, and he used to hook people up with the fattest boxes of food with the most value, like $100 value for like $5. He would charge you $5 for a box of assortment of random surplus from groceries and stuff, and you would always go and buy like 5 or 6 boxes, and every time you open a box, it doesn't matter, you spend $5, you're gonna get a lot of stuff that you were like ecstatic about. So it was like really cool. Then it was such a good thing that somebody have to fuck it up, you know. They robbed him, then they end up killing the guy. So that's an example of, I guess, somebody with, where you could say they have a heart of gold getting killed, right? But sometimes, what about like an example like where somebody gets killed by somebody with a heart of gold? How could that happen? That could never happen. There could never be that. But who's the actor? Steinbeck. The Grapes of Wrath is an example of how that could be a possible, like, feasible thing, because, you know, George is like a mentally stunted person. He's very disarming, had a like really like innocent spirit, like he had an innocent heart. He always begged his caretaker George to take him to go pet the rabbits. And then one time he came across a woman or something who had hair that was like, you know, it's like some of their hair can have a like radically different consistency. Like some women's hair is extremely shiny. Some women's hair is extremely black, like jet black. Some women's hair is like luster, you know, like extremely, like some of it can be, I don't know. The characteristics are like drastically different. So he came across a woman who had a hair that was really soft. And so he's like a retard who likes petting rabbits. And he started petting her hair. Now she freaked out. Similar to if you're like feeding alligators at the lake and they start to swarm you, or you're feeding like raccoons or something and they start to swarm you. Like they're friendly and everything, and they come up and take a piece of bread, but then when they're all around you and arguing with each other, then you think they're gonna turn on you, devour you. They're gonna like get scared, so you freak out. It's still the same animal. Like, say you're playing with a dog, you know, the dog's nothing but a fucking friend to a human, but he gets excited and he jumps up and scratches the fuck out of you with his claws and his leg or something. He doesn't even know. Doesn't know comprehension, except maybe that moment when you're like, ah, like that, you can feel something, but then fucking, you gotta be like, okay, this brain is like this big. There's no way for you, you know, to even let them know what's going on, really, what happened, right? Like oblivious. But so think about the dog brain being tiny, and then the brain of the guy with the heart of gold being like stunted or whatever. He's not a predator, but the whole town is alarmed to his, you know, being a predator, because so you have that kind, right? He was touching her hair. It was soft. He was like, oh, it's so soft. She freaked out. She started to struggle. Then he got scared. She got scared. He got scared. He was begging her to please be like, chill out. Please, like, relax, or something, like, stop freaking out. Like, please don't get scared. Stop doing that. And he ended up choking her the fuck out. She died. I gotta blow this stuff in the napkin. For the apartment. So, on the other side of the token, right? If if you're a woman and you don't want that kind of stuff, you don't want that to happen to you, right? You got to check off these boxes. Is the guy fully mentally aware? Is he like, does he have certain capacity for anger, or is he like, what I mean? Because even like I don't know what's. So you gotta check off all these boxes to make sure that the dude is not a psychopathic predator or just gonna kill you or something. And like it doesn't work. Can you imagine? Not saying that this is every time that happens. Checking off boxes to make sure that you don't get strangled by someone who's half retarded. And so you go for like somebody with like who could be keen, like really keen or really shrewd, or they have some kind of faculty of the brain that they could be really intellectual or disarming. Shit. I mean, who doesn't know that a smile is disarming, can be deployed even to make people complacent, and then you attack them. So, checking off those boxes, I mean, there might be some guys that has something that's a red flag, but they're not able to, or it's not gonna, like there's people that fuck up even way worse than that. DJ Academic. Like, can you imagine fucking getting mad at a chick because you thought that she's being a hoe and just being forceful with her because she fucked your friends? Or can you imagine fucking, I can't imagine put drugs in a drink. Back in high school, we used to buy alcohol because after we drink together, then the thing might happen. Okay, but what you're consuming. I don't know what is fucking. That goes a little bit beyond imaginable, and but I don't think for a second that I could pull any breezies faster. Somebody that could date rape somebody and run a train on them is gonna find a wife or a partner before I do. Way before I do. I'm not jealous or mad or saying that, oh, this is injustice. Women have to change their ways, because they can't. You almost got surrounded by raccoons trying to feed the cute, fluffy raccoons, trying to get a warm, fuzzy feeling from feeding raccoons. In a way, that's like a relationship. But then they got crowded, and they was like, oh, this is going too good. It's going too well. I'm going to end up becoming the feast. Because once they realize that they could take you and eat you, they will. Once there's enough of the creature around that you're feeding that they realize that they can take you, they're going to fucking take you. It's not that they have to feel bad. They're not even predator. You have to know what they are. You're responsible for their caretaking, even though they can hurt you. Even if they can eat you alive, you're still responsible for making sure that they don't have a no choice, involuntary reaction to, death roll, snapping one of your arms off. It's an accident. I can't feel bad. I'm oblivious. So I don't know what the moral of the story or the point or the message or the takeaway is from any of this, because I don't want it to turn into a sob story, because I'm a little bit mad that, people that are capable of putting drugs in a drink and gang raping is gonna be they're gonna fucking have way more bitches on their team than I can. I'm like way mad about that, but I'm saying, how can they trust you? They don't know you. You could be just as dangerous and deadly, even if you have a heart of gold. So what's the point of fucking calling men misogynist, women hating, patriarchal, all these like terrible things? What's the point? You're just going to get strangled. You're just going to get strangled in the parking lot. Like you're just going to get complacent and you're going to get killed by a fucking the Geek Squad instead of like, because geeks have together the most, right? Brutes, you can imagine that they'll brutalize, right? So you check them off the brutes, and then you know what I mean. You just end up marrying a killer clown or something. Like these people are like, find out that their husband is the BTK killer or something like he was gay the whole time, like he has kids and everything. This one dude had the wherewithal, engineering abilities, and he was smart enough to build a structure out in the middle of the woods that would be the envy of somebody who could make YouTube videos and make money off of it. He was gonna escape, from his family and everything. And then, but he had one last thing to do before he escaped, which was to kill his whole family. This was never about escaping. And I can't figure it out, his pathology. I don't have his pathology. I didn't embrace his pathology. And I have to figure it out. Like, I have to understand his pathology somehow. Because the one I have doesn't embrace his pathology. What is the other one? If I didn't have no pathology, you couldn't tell me that you have to go and understand any pathology, because I didn't embrace any pathology. So there's no reason to even know about the opposite one, because opposites attract. Women, do you know that opposites attract? Of course you know. You have to be aware of your opposites, that they're attracted. Is it possible to get stalked by somebody with pure intentions? Could someone be stalking you around the town with pure intentions? Hell yeah. I stalked a couple girls before. I didn't know them though. I was trying to bump into them. That's stalking. I mean, I'm not trying to do anything to them. I was just trying to bump into them. You're stalking them for you can go to prison for 6 months minimum. But that kind of stalking, I mean, they might be charmed by. They might think that that's adorable, charming, heartwarming, whatever. They'd be like, "Oh, you were stalking me, oh." But it comes down to is what's your itinerary? If you want to pet the rabbits, that's not my itinerary, even as innocent as that sounds. And then if I have hair, if I'm a girl and I had hair as soft as a rabbit, I'm not going to talk to any oversized, retarded people that love petting rabbits. I'm not going to do it, because they are going to kill you out of love. They're going to kill you out of love.